If you've been wondering how to run the tower to get tons of shards, then look no further. In this video I'll be explaining the most simple terms how to achieve these high scores and some of the tips and tricks around running the tower. So this isn't a guide on how to get the absolute maximum amount of points, as that is a very sweaty strategy, but this will get you close without much effort. In a group of 4 you can expect over 3,000 shards per person pretty easily, and solo you can get close, and that's just depending on how fast your build is. So here are the 3 things that you need to do to get these high scores. 1. After hitting a spire, don't stop to collect the shards. Just keep running, and on a second pass or third pass, we'll come and pick them up later. 2. Don't let your streak go beyond 400 if possible. Try to path in a way that will allow you to lose your streak around 400, and where you'll kind of be close to another spire when this happens. And the reason we stop at 400 is because 400 kills provides the maximum bonus shards from your streak. And 3, kill as many elites as possible, because these are what are going to provide you the time boosts you need to keep running for longer. In the beginning, they'll drop 10-second time increases, but as you keep going and as you're in there for longer, it'll drop down to 1 second. So firstly, I'll cover what your build should look like. So there's no need for a ton of DPS in the tower, because the monsters are the same strength as the open world, so everything will just die quick and easy. The most important thing is that you make sure you have your fastest build on, because here, speed is key. So add as many dashes as possible, or as many speed boosts as possible, and if you already have a looping build, then that will work well for you here. So the goal is to run to each spire as fast as possible, and kill everything on your way there without having to stop or turn around. Now on to the pathing. There is a lot of freedom in the direction of your pathing, but you kind of have to follow a circular path around the tower. I always start here on the northwestern gate, and then path counterclockwise around the map. And with this path you'll be moving through both of these red sections in the beginning of your run. And this is so you can get the boss early and get that big time boost. You should use my path as a guideline, but as you get more comfortable, you can adjust it to how you see fit. As long as you're moving and hitting spires, you can't really go wrong. Once you start your run, keep moving and do not stop to pick things up. On your second pass is when you'll be able to pick up the larger time increases that you get from these elites that you're killing around the map, and some of the shards. And then once your time actually expires, we're going to make another round to pick up all the shards from the towers and anything extra we've left on the ground. So if you do everything correctly, then you can end up with an extra 400 or more shards after the time is up. As you can see in this run, once the time expired, I was at 2017 shards. And then after making the last loop, I ended at 2517. And if I were to have stopped each time on these pillars, then I would not have even close to the amount of shards that I have now. Because each time you stop, that's going to take 3 seconds from you, at the most. And that will add up greatly over your whole run, because you're going to be hitting 40, 50 different spires if you are quick. So the best thing to do is just to let them stay on the ground, and you'll come back and pick them up. You can stay in and pick up as many shards for as long as you want after the time expires. Nothing is going to kick you out. And every time that you pass by a spire that gives you some sort of boost, like fleeting, protection, alchemical, anything like that, always hit them. Fleeting is the best one, but even if it's not fleeting, as you keep running around, that spire is going to respawn. And this can help you get more shards, because if you get more fleeting spires, then you'll be able to run faster and cover more distance. And one last thing to note, if there is no boss on the run that you're doing, then you might as well reset and just wait for it to spawn, because the boss is going to give you a large time increase and a large amount of shards, which can be the reason why you do or don't hit that 3,000 or that very high number of shards at the end. And similarly, if you start a run and there's not that many elites, you might not get that high of a score. So a lot of times, if you are really competing for very high scores, you're going to have to do 3, 4, 5 runs and waiting for good elite spawns and getting that boss spawn at the same time. If you are doing a lot of back-to-back runs, one thing you can do is try to get a bunch of people into the tower so that you can start a new instance. And if you start a new instance of the tower, the boss will be there. I think if you get around 5 people in and then you try to join the same tower, it'll put you in a new instance. This is very useful when you're going against a clan that's really putting in the work and getting high scores, so that you can compete with them and sometimes even put up scores you've never seen before. Another thing is you need to be running with 4 people to get the highest scores possible. Something about the tower scales the more people that you're with, so you'll end up seeing sometimes even 1,000 more shards than normal with 4 people in there. And the way that works is one person is just doing exactly what I've showed in this video, and the other 3 just stay right behind and follow as close as possible the whole time. With all that being said, thank you all for watching. If you do have any more questions or comments about this, leave them down below. Try to get back to every single comment that is left. And if you do have anything else you would like me to cover, also leave a comment about that. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.